so wonderful to be here with you. Congratulations to the rest of the 2019 SMC Hall of Famers. This honor for Paul tonight is tremendous, as will his induction into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame in just a few weeks. From where he's watching, I know he's ecstatic and thrilled. I'd really like to acknowledge the committee, the athletic department here at St. Michael's, Chris Kenny, and the men's lacrosse team. Coach Alex Smith truly understands the deeply unifying and at times healing aspects this game has for many. There are several Paul's players here this evening. Would any of the captains like to stand up, please, for me? Are there captains here tonight? Thank you. Most important, the goalies. Let's get the goalies standing. Jack and I attended the alumni game this morning. Sorry for that expected loss, guys. So I think it's really important for a player to do a lot of the remembrance for Paul. So I'm going to leave a lot of the podium to that individual, who will be Kevin Simmons, and Jeff Culkin will also come up tonight with a message from Paul's beloved coach, Richie Morin from Cornell. But I will share that Paul was certainly a god of lacrosse to me. He was also a son, a brother, an uncle, a nephew, a brilliant husband, and a father. For those in the room, I see Zap here, and Zap and Jackie. Paul would travel around campus with Jack right on his front side or in the car seat while Mom was pursuing her career in agriculture and dance, which I still do. So he lifted me up as well. I think as family and friends, we still try to be clever, quick-witted, and accomplished in the kitchen. I think those of you know he's a great grill master. We still work and play hard. We don't complain. We help our neighbors as he wanted. And we never go to bed angry. We spend quality and quantity time with our friends and family. I'm grateful for my lasting friendships. I have a friend from college here tonight. I have my wonderful friends, the Gleasons, from my community here tonight. Matt Gleason played with Paul. Kim is my wonderful yoga partner sometimes. And I'm grateful eternally for my family. Love you, Ellen Kelly. My sister-in-law is here, Paul's sister. Yes, she was his favorite. Ellen knows that. Chris Walker, his son Noah plays with Jack. It's always wonderful to see the continuing legacy of lacrosse players, fine young men here tonight. Jack and Noah, why don't you stand up? And my beautiful daughter Serena, who attended St. Michael's. So head, heart, and hustle, legs and wins. And Kevin Simmons and Jeff, if you could come up. Kevin was part of the first recruiting class for Paul, St. Michael's alum, works at Maverick Lacrosse, donates sticks constantly to Jack. A lot of those sticks go to the Essex.
They go to other people.
Lacrosse Rec Association. Jeff Culkin, founder of the lacrosse program here in St. Mike's, I'm pretty sure, Hall of Famer.
Pretty sure.
And businessman. So thank you very much.
All right, let's see what I got. Okay, so good evening, friends. Thank you, Lynn Ellen, for this honor to accept this award on Paul's behalf. Certainly well deserved, and one that's probably a little overdue. I'll try and keep it short and sweet because they said I have 5 minutes, so we'll see how we did there. So, Coach had relationships with so many people, and he helped others in so many ways. We all have our own Schimoler stories, He had a special way of connecting with people. The impact he has had is immeasurable. Genuine, kind, loyal, dedicated, passionate. He cared for people. He treated everybody with dignity, and he embodied kindness. He was one of the greatest humans I've ever met. Larger than life. He was one of a kind. He had such a commanding presence. Paul was pensive and thoughtful. So thoughtful, you could see when he was thinking. He'd be carefully selecting his words and processing everything. His facial expressions were priceless. He was humble, but certainly had every right to be confident. We loved everything about the guy. The way he walked, the way he smiled, the way he communicated with few words. Coach Schimoler was the main reason that I and so many others came to St. Mike's. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but after 4 years playing with Coach Schimoler, he made me a better person, and it was the best decision I could have made. He was definitely a player's coach, and always had our backs. Right, Lou? Yeah. The 8 seasons as head coach, as was previously mentioned, were the best in program history, and he held a helm longer than any other coach. He taught players to do the right thing. He taught us how to have moxie. He held people accountable and didn't make any excuses. He never complained. The field isn't plowed. You got a game today. Grab a shovel. We love this. And we all love Paul. We certainly had a unique experience playing at St. Mike's. For spring break, for instance, instead of going to Florida or someplace warm, we'd go to Long Island. We'd stay at cheap hotels. These were very special trips for Paul because we were going back to his homeland, Long Island. One of my first years, Doc, Paul's father, he welcomed us into his home after a game. It was a museum of lacrosse awards and history. This was one of the times that Doc famously called one of our trainers sturdy. Paul's face at that moment communicated a lot of things. Above all, Paul loved his family. He loved his dad, he loved his wife, he loved his kids. Paul would be running practices, as mentioned, with maybe a whistle in one hand and Jack in the other. Paul's been described as something like a guardian angel, one who looks over us as we go through struggles and hardships of life. He showed us kindness and set an example to all of us in how we can make an impact in the world and be present. Paul left me a voicemail a few years after I graduated, and I'll try and do my Coach Schimoler impression. So it went, "Hey, Kevin, it's Coach Schimoler calling." And he went back to serious Paul, and he's like, "I hope all is well with you, Mom, Grandma, your brother. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao." I saved that message for years. It always brought a smile to my face, and he was always a really great mentor to me. Okay, so Paul inspired us. He protected and stood guard. Coach Schimoler will always be missed. Cheers, not tears. Easier said than done. Paul's life, it lives on with us today. So if you do have a glass handy, if you would kindly present it and give a cheers to the legendary Paul Schimoler. Cheers. Cheers.
I was forwarded a brief letter from Paul's coach from Cornell University, Richie Moran. For those of you who are not familiar with lacrosse, Richie Moran is nothing less than a legend in the sport. Won 3 national championships and was Paul's coach for his 4 years at Cornell. Richie couldn't be here tonight, but he asked me to read the letter on his behalf. Paul Schimoler was simply one of the greatest goalies to ever play the game of lacrosse. I've known Paul since he was 8 years old. His father went to high school with my brothers and sisters. His leadership and strong fundamentals were second to none. From his goalie position, Paul directed his team like an all-pro NFL quarterback conducting a 2-minute offense. Except, Paul did it for the entire 60 minutes. His greatest performance included 28 saves versus North Carolina in the NCAA playoffs. It was their first playoff loss ever at home when they beat North Carolina. Paul had 27 saves in the NCAA playoffs against Syracuse University, and I've been involved in lacrosse for 51 years. I remember that game that day against Syracuse University. It's the greatest single goalie performance I've ever seen in my 51 years of lacrosse. Off the field, Paul was much loved by all of us, a remarkable individual. Please extend my best to his lovely family, wife Lynn Ellen, daughter Serena, son Jack. Respectfully, Richie Moran, Cornell University. Thank you.